Hello and welcome back to the Welsknight Patreon server. My name is HistoryWes, aka Wes Allison. Where we last left off, Aletha Prime, my very own fairy god dragon, was showing us around the server, and now we've arrived at her base. That little hole there was where she originally lived while she was first starting out. And then this is her first starter house. Now look at all the cake. Cake everywhere. We've also got, let's see, cats and birds living together in harmony. Oh, the humanity. I love the wall sconces made out of, let's see, trapdoors and torches and item frames, I think. I'm going to have to try that out. And these are her death mementos and other memories from playing on the server for the past almost for a year. Very nice. She's got a totem of undeath there, so she's been to a mansion in a canopied forest. Got her crafting center there, or rather an enchanting table. Yeah, check out those torches on the wall. Now, I feel like there could be like a little walkway there, maybe. Okay, wow. Growing some vines there, growing some cocoa beans. What have we got over here? Two statues of Welsknight, who is the great YouTuber who is providing this Patreon server for his patrons. Nice. By the way, you can see how big this base is, and there's her beacon in the background. Bases on the site have a radius of 250 blocks. So let's see, that's an area of 50,000 blocks? No, 250,000 square blocks, if my math is correct, which it probably isn't. So what have we got here? We have some villagers in the process of being moved around, some priests or clerics, and then there is a witch inside the booth. Aletha says that's Pam, which I point out is also the name of my sister-in-law. I want my very own witch. I want to be able to get a witch and lock her up like this. I don't know what she would be good for, but it just would be awesome. Just kind of an exhibition of power, I guess. And we've got a lot of potion crafting and stuff going on around in our potion stands. And here's her stable. And you can see up in the top right corner that we've got the haste effect if we were to mine because of the beacon. She offers me a horse, but I'm going to wait until I have a base confirmed and get there, because I think I'm going to have to travel over water to get to my base, and I don't want to have to get a horse across the ocean. It's a pain. Nice purple construction. That actually looks really good. That purple in contrast with the dark oak and then all the glasswork around. And there's a tripwire hook, and I don't think I found out what that actually does. A map of the base area, always good to have. Storage system. More cake, which I didn't even notice, I think, when I was there. Oh, a water elevator. You know how well I do with the water elevators. Okay, up, up, up. A lot more storage up here. And back down. And further down. Okay. Underground farm, where we've got our sheep sorted out by color. And we've got some cows. And fortunately, none of them seems to be distressed by this dragon walking among them. She doesn't seem to have a lot of each one. I guess she is not in need of a lot of colored wool, but there's a lot of it out there. You can buy it at the shops if you want to. And down into this underground area, and she has a couple of monster spawners, but this one here is just the most ingenious thing I think I've ever seen. There's a skeleton spawner, and she's turned it into a dog-powered skeleton farm. Every time a skeleton drops down into there, the dogs attack it automatically. And then all the drops go into the chest. That's pretty cool. Just another reason to have dogs around. There they are. They're going after the new skeleton, and he'll be dead. Here we are back outside. And okay, this is the villager trading area, the villager breeder station. She's got some villagers there that have yet to be sorted, or are in the process of being sorted. It looks like they're not sorted yet. Here's the sorted ones. And this is the trading area where you can come in and trade. And look how happy the villagers are. Happy in their little stalls. A happy villager is a tradey villager, I guess. Okay, quite an operation. Here we are back outside now, and this is a redstone powered flower farm. I've never seen anything like this before either. Check that out. Not only does it grow the flowers, and then it separates them from the ground. It picks them for you too. You just have to run around and pick them up. Pretty impressive. She says, I have a few farms for different kinds of flowers. And she has lots of flowers everywhere, as you can see. And this is a gigantic wave, a tidal wave, if you will. She calls it the infamous wave. This is a massive construction made of mostly lapis with some colored glass in for the edges. Down here at the bottom where we're standing, you can see a lot of colored glass, but up there where it's dark, that's all lapis. Just thousands upon thousands of cubes of lapis. Now, even with enchanting things, it's pretty easy to build up a surplus of lapis. I always end up having several chests full, but I mean, this is crazy. Just holy smokes, yeah. Anyway, we're finished with Aletha's base, and now we're heading off to visit Stina Rose. As I pointed out before, Stina Rose is an up-and-coming YouTuber. She's surpassed 500 subscribers. She's on her way to 1,000 pretty quick. And this is her nether hub, nether base. Look at that ceiling. It's awesome. And the stained glass work. It's like a giant cathedral. And don't know if you can tell, but down on the ground there's a rose motif done into the floor. And here we are at her base. She's taken a Mushroom Island and turned it into a fairy tale land. And there's the lady herself, Stina Rose. Walking around in this fairy tale wonderland isn't like visiting Disneyland, or specifically certain parts of Disneyland like Fantasyland or Toontown, because it's full of these things from storybooks. You can see some of them off in the distance, like the beanstalk. And wandering around are all of these zombie pigmen with Stina's head on them, and they're all named Stina Rose. And that's what happens when you anger one of the mods on the server. YD, one of the moderators, one of the moderators, created these mobs with Stina's face on them as punishment for something that she did, and you'll see what that was later. But they're still zombie pigmen, so you got to be careful not to injure them. And here we are in Hansel and Gretel's house, and the Wicked Witch is in the oven. This is an example of another witch that's been trapped by players. And I happen to know that several people died several times each getting this witch in here. But she is constantly on fire, but she never dies because she keeps drinking potions of healing. That is amazing. And then, of course, the whole place is made out of candy and filled with goodies, just like the real Hansel and Gretel house. But upstairs is the secret hidden place where she's got her enchanting area, potion area, and that is a caged YD, the moderator. Shh, don't tell anybody. Yeah, that's what happens when you anger Stina Rose. And anyway, she's got her netherwort farm up here too. This is pretty nice. Check out Stina's shield. She's got a rose motif on her shield. That's nice. Heading back down, let's see what else we can see. Let's see, the dragon around the portal is something I don't think I even focus on very much while we're running around. But if you saw it there, it's off to the left. It's pretty nice. And there are all these mushrooms. Some of them are real. Some of them are made out of different stuff. Some of them are made out of emeralds, like those ones in the background there. That's just kind of an indication of the huge amount of wealth on this server. People have given me so much. And then there are community farms for just about everything. Community gold farm, blaze rod farms, and all kinds of cool stuff. And last time we saw the Guardian farm with all of the drops from it. Anyway, over here you can see, we're going down underneath into Stina's underground farm. And look how pretty it is. Flowers everywhere. Roses, of course, and a lot of red poppies. I had to edit out so much because there's just so much to see. And if you really want to see more, you should check out Stina Rose's videos, and I'll put a link to her page. You can see all of the sheep down here say property of Bo Peep. They all have name tags attached, every single one. That's just, at the time I was thinking, wow, that's a huge number of name tags involved. But again, after playing on here with all these people for a year, there are a lot of name tags around. People are selling them in the market area, and you can AFK fish for them, of course. Back upstairs, that is the straw house that the three little pigs live in. One of the three little pigs. he built his house of straw. Of course, the big bad wolf blew it down. And next we have the house made of wood. Oh, one of the pigs is in there. She says it's the most derpy thing she's ever built, but it fits the story. There's a mushroom made of nether brick, a couple of them. And then finally we have the third little pig's house, which is the built his house of brick, and he managed to trap the wolf in he went right down the chimney and into the pot, and there he is, and he is angry. You can see by his blazing red eyes. And the secret to keeping this wolf angry is that there's a sheep hidden underneath the floor so that this wolf is permanently aggroed. Fantastic, in the true sense of that word. And there's the beanstalk and Jack's house, and Stina is in the process of having someone build her a cloud at that very minute. You can see them up there building a custom-made cloud upon which the giant's castle will eventually set, or the giant's house. I'm not sure how she's going to go, castle or house, but knowing Stina, and she's kind of famous for her castles, I'm betting that's what it'll be. The Stina's that thick beanstalk that comes up from Jack's house actually houses Stina's beacons inside of there, so she can get all the effects of the beacon without or maybe she moved them. She had them at one point in there. I see some beacons off in the distance, but she's got some ships there that were a gift from another player who is an expert at ship making, and you can tell there's an obelisk in the distance. That's obviously a gift from Gru. Gru is the server's obelisk builder. At Aletha's base, she saw an obelisk made of water. There was the obelisk at the game area, an obelisk at the town municipal district that we saw last episode. So he is the obelisk maker supreme, and these are not like tiny little obelisks. Like, I've built a few obelisks too, but nothing more than 40 or 50 blocks tall. These are just humongous, just crazy huge. And there you can see the fairy tale castle off on the left, just to the left of the invading Viking ships, which look really good in white. I'm not sure what those are made out of, if that is wool or something else, but they look really good. And this obelisk, as you can see, is made of roses. Is that just insane? Millions and millions of them. I don't know if that's millions, but it's a whole lot. It's definitely thousands and thousands of them. I apologize for if you hear a sound in the background. I have a noisy neighbor. So there's some skeleton horses, and it's raining, and I'm going to throw down a bed here. One of the features of the servers is that only one person has to sleep for night to pass by, and looks like I'm the one who's going to have to do it this time. It's still a little slower than it is in a single player game, but not long. There we are, back to the real world, or back to the fairy tale world. Oh, look at that big rose. I didn't even notice that. That was really nice. Ah, here we go. This is the home of the old woman who lived in a shoe. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. And I don't remember the rest exactly, but I think it involves spanking them and putting them to bed. And there is Captain Hook's ship to the left there from Peter Pan. Technically not a fairy tale, but I think the effect of Disney is that it has become part of the fairy tale community. And this is really a really nice build. I mean, it really looks like a giant shoe. But you can go in, and inside here she's got a farm. So she's going to make not only these just fantastic fairy tale builds, but she's also going to make them all usable, which is nice. This is a villager-powered farm, which I'm going to have to get you trap some villagers in there, and they do the planting and picking automatically. And I have to watch a tutorial or something on it because I don't know how to collect the goods after they've farmed. And I'm pointing out I had to pause because I had to go answer the door. So this is really big inside. Multiple bedrooms, storage rooms, bunk beds. Check out the bunk beds for all the kids. And I suppose if you came by and visited Stina's base, you could sleep in there too. You get these big bases, and somebody could sneak on and live there, like hiding around you and being sneaky. So this goes all the way up to the top, and there is a little rose garden at the top with a rainbow carpet. I think this is her patron hall. And up at the top is a little restaurant. So I didn't count the number of stories, but what is that? It's got to be like 5 or 6 stories. And we end up here in the restaurant. If it was a real Disneyland, you'd exit through the gift shop. And that's what she needs. She needs the gift shops. Although Steen has probably the best maintained, and I don't know if it's the most lucrative farm or store in the market district, but I would be willing to bet it is, because I do all my shopping there now. I've bought tons of stuff right after this video was finished, including music player and all the radio or all the records, an elytra, stacks and stacks of materials, a fishing rod, and there was free food there, so I got some free food. In fact, we stopped in their last episode and looked around. Back then I didn't have any diamonds. This is another giant rose garden in honor of her first 500 subscriptions. There are 500 rose bushes, which is pretty awesome. And this is the downside of me being the only person right now who is not wearing an elytra. So there we have the answer to that. Just dive into the water. And this is a giant wall that lists the number of subscribers she has on her channel, which is 546 at this point. I think I started subscribing when it was, let's see, 366 or 367. Oh, here I am. I was number 337. There you go. She changes that all the time, and that is, as you'll note, diamond blocks on top of sea lanterns. Now, in any game that I'd played with, having that many sea lanterns alone would be an indicator of a huge amount of wealth, let alone all those blocks of diamond. And there's more blocks of diamonds for that beacon. I can't get over these zombie pigmen. I don't know how many. I mean, obviously, if you're in. Yeah, obviously, if you are able to go into creative mode, you can drop zombie pigmen wherever you want to. I was just thinking, though, that there is at least one location on this server, the gold farm, where huge numbers of pigmen come out of a portal, and I'm just wondering how that is, or how it's possible to lure them out, I guess. Somebody just took off up toward the top there. This server is the rainiest server or game I've ever been on. It rains almost every single day. At least once, usually in the evening, right before bedtime. The rain comes and then it gets dark and then you have to go to sleep, even if you've only been awake for like 3 minutes. And there is a giant made of magma and lava. That's just an impressive build on just the scale of it and the materials involved. I don't remember that fairy tale. And you got to remember, all of these constructions, the Magma Man, the obelisk, all the castle, these are all built by players in survival mode, not in creative. The only creative thing was spawning of the zombie pigmen by YD the mod, who has the godlike creator powers at her disposal. And here we are in Stina's castle. She is famous for her castles. Now, I've built a castle or two in my single-player games, but not this nice. I built some that are maybe this big, at least using with some help from some tutorials, but she's created this, and it is huge and full of really cool and interesting stuff. Like this angel statue right here. I love that. And this is her hall of memories, where she's got a framed item commemorating each time she's been killed on the server, which is still more than I've been killed, but I think I'm going to catch up with her. And plus other events that she's had been involved with on the server, and we've been joined by Graceful Abandon there, one of the other players very active on the server. And these pigmen are just like crazy. They're just everywhere. I mean, there are so many that you really just can't like start getting rid of them. You can't attack them because you'd have an army of zombie pigmen after you, and you know, 3 or 4 is one thing, but if you've got 50 or 60. That's bad. I happen to know Steen has been killed at least once by zombie pigmen in the Nether. And there is Aletha looking at a statue with the dragon head, which looks just like her. And this is the throne room. Another really nice piece of work. Look at the arches and the ceiling. Again, all done in survival mode. All of the stained glass work. Really good use of the pictures. It's hard to get the Minecraft pictures to look good. But, you know, if you're really careful and limit the pictures and you do a good job with the placement, they can really add something. This is a really nice piece of work. A nice throne, too, with the rose banner as the back piece. Looks really good. Suitable for the queen of a fairy tale world. Now, I pointed out this was a mushroom island, but there are relatively few places where there's mushroom left. I mean, there are the mushrooms around, but there are very few places that are spawnable by mushrooms. And I think most of the mushrooms, the mushroom cows, are extinct, sadly. And here we go down one of the towers. A long way down. And this is the Villager Trading Center. And this is what was the cause of all these zombie pigmen, because when Stina made her Villager Trading Center, she took the head of YD, the moderator, and put it on all of her villagers. And they have her head, her face, except their villager noses still poke through. So that was what caused her to seek revenge with the zombie pigmen. Interesting floor work. Well, it's getting about time for me to leave. But we have been joined by Vander. There he is, the Vander, one of the many great players on the server, one of the many active players, and you should check out his videos too. And he's either trying to trap me in diamonds in a diamond cage, or he's given me a huge stack of diamonds. And it turns out to be the latter. And now I'm diamond rich. And I can go on a massive shopping spree at the market area and buy everything I need just about. And now I'm trying to get out by finding an exit. I'm trying to make a graceful exit, I say. So I've got to have them lead me out, because this castle is large and labyrinthine. Yeah, you can see I'd never find my way out. Here we are. So I'm taking off through the Nether portal. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure and press like. If you really enjoyed it, subscribe. Check out the videos of the other players. I'll put the links down below. Thanks for joining us. Happy Minecrafting, and have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.